Hi again, it's Eren, and this is task 4. So let's start with running the task 4A. Uh, okay, it says enter number 1 and number 2, and it gave me the bigger number. So let's check inside of the code. Uh, Again, we are first starting by importing the scanner object, scanner library, and we are declaring our class and function, and I'm creating the scanner object named with input and we are displaying this string onto the console, and in here the code is waiting for the user to enter and double value, and it's doing the same thing in this two line. And we have an if statement in here. It's checking if the number 1 is bigger than number 2. If it is, it will say the greater number is number 1. If the number 2 is bigger than number 1, it will say greater number is that. If both of them is not correct, then it will say these two numbers are equal to each other. So let's check the equal part. Yep, it's work. It says 20 and 20 are equal to each other. And let's go with the task 4B. Oops. Uh, okay. Something went wrong. What area of a circle? Yes. So the problem is this function is returning uh double values, so I can't use it as I want like that. If I want to use it, I should have a double variable that stores double variables inside of it. So let's call it A, and okay, this must work. Well, again, something went wrong, but it's not important. I don't need to run the code. So let me explain what I wrote in here. So what is in here is again the scanner library and the class thing. Now you see the function is returning a double value in here, and it is getting the radius value in here. This is the parameter of the function. So when the function is run, it's getting this radius from here. Yeah. And it's checking if this radius is bigger than 0. If it is, it's returning the pi times radius square, uh, which is the area of the circle. So let's say if radius is 3, it will give me this value. It is the area of this circle which have 3 radius. And let's go with task 4C. Is leap year. Okay. Uh, it is another function that returns something. It returns Boolean and getting an integer parameter. So how this work is writing the year that you want to know if it is a leap year or not, then it is returning one of them true or false. Well, sometimes we can write write this instead of false because that means that's a Boolean equation, and if this equation returns false, uh, the code will assume what the writes in there is false. Uh, yes. So let's run this code too. First, I will need a Boolean value, and I'll write 2001 in here, and I'll store this value in the a variable. Then, then I'll print a. It says false because 2001 is not a leap year. But if I write 2000 instead of 2001, it will say true because 2000 is a leap year. Okay, let's keep going with task 4D. Uh, okay, again we start with declaring the class. Now in this one we didn't import any library, and we have we have two functions. One of them returning string and the other one is returning integer. So this is coin gan and this is dice gan. So okay. What's coin gan? And I'll print this a. Okay, what this function do is actually it is creating a random double value, and then and this random value is between uh 1 to, sorry, 0 to 1, and it's a double value, something like that, and it's checking if it is smaller than 1.0.5 uh for having equal probabilities to head and tail. If it is smaller, it says it returns head. If it is bigger, it returns tail. So completely equal probabilities, and it's just tossing a coin. And in here, it's returning an integer value. In this one, we are rolling a six-sided dice, and again, we are creating a random number, random double number, and and you see we have a couple of else statements, if statements, and for giving the giving the equal probability to each of these outcomes, uh, we say we say 1/6. If let's say if the random number is smaller than 1 divided by 6.0, we write this point 0 because if we write only 6, it will return integer. Like if you write 1/6, it will be 0. But if we say 1/6, it will be something like 0.18. And you see in the other statements, I increase this one, and one by one by one, And in the else statements, it is returning 6. So let's run this code. We will need a integer value for storing the return value, and task for the dot dice generator. And now I'll print the A. Okay, it said 6. Let's do it again. 6 again. And 1 this time. You see, it is returning the integer value to uh my integer variable. It's storing the value in it, and then I am printing the variable in here. It's line. Okay, that was all. Thank you for listening.